The subtitle for the book is The Power of Mimetic Desire in Everyday Life. For someone who's never heard of it, what is a simple definition? What is mimetic desire for the person who's never heard about it?
It is learning to want something because somebody else wants it. And this usually happens in a very subconscious way. So let me give you a couple of concrete examples to illustrate how this happens from different phases of life. One, this would be familiar to, I think, many listeners. If you turn, a handful of toddlers loose in a room full of abundant toys, more than enough toys for all of them, it usually happens very often that one toy, somebody will pick up one toy, bright red fire truck, and become fascinated with it. And pretty soon a second child comes over and he's fascinated with it, and then a third, and they reinforce each other's desire for the same toy. Pretty soon all of them will have converged on the same toy, and probably start fighting over it or something like that. It's mine, and completely forget about all of the other toys in the room. So it's because of that first child who could have picked it up for any reason. Maybe their dad's a firefighter. They had to have some. Maybe it was random, but if they are fascinated enough with it, it will draw the second child in, and then it's even easier to draw the third child in, and then even easier for the fourth and the fifth. Right? This is mimetic behavior. There's the imitation of desire from the first to the second to the third to the fourth. Why was the U.S. so fascinated with the moon in the 1960s? It's just dusty sphere. There's nothing on it. Well, because another country became fascinated with it, and it became an object of rivalry. Who can get to the moon first? This happens in relationships very often. Where you'll have this has happened to me before. In dating somebody in a relationship, and decide maybe this isn't working so well, and get out of the relationship. And then the very second that there's another model in the picture, let's say the girl that I was dating all of a sudden has a new boyfriend, and all of a sudden I see that, and it completely changes my desire, because now there's a model of desire back in the picture, and it can take us on these roller coasters. So models of desire really affect us on the level of desire, and we think of our desires as spontaneous, while not realizing or admitting the role that models play on us, right? And this. Obviously this happens in work environments all the time. I worked on Wall Street as an investment banker in finance, and it wasn't until I saw one of my good friends leave to go start a company in California that all of a sudden I was inflamed with a desire to do the same thing. And all of a sudden I had the courage to do it. I had a model. So, this plays out in life, how, students choose college majors. The first thing they do is they look around and they ask, well, what do other people want to major in? So we're very social in that way. And those are just a few examples. We could go on, because this is something that really happens to us pretty much on a daily basis. My wife and I can't even go eat at a restaurant without me needing to know what she wants on the menu first before I have any idea what I want. I'm sort of overwhelmed. She's my model of desire when it comes to what I typically order. She's also very good with food. So, there's trivial examples, but there are also very serious examples that can determine the path of our entire lives in terms of, what we dedicate ourselves to, the kind of, careers that we pursue, the very shape of our spiritual life, depending on the models of desire that we have.